Well, folks, here we are. The house is complete. A lot of you have heard me talk about it. A lot of you have heard me go on and on about it, and now you get to see what it's all about. The last little section was there on the far right, where I put in some rock, and the area where all that mulch is used to be ugly, overgrown Natal plums and junipers that were, quite literally, a rat's nest. The front yard has been redone. What used to be rock is now a nice green lawn. Okay, it's artificial. Got to be water conscious. Plus I'm cheap, which means I never have to water, and I never ever have to mow again. The area between the steps and the driveway, that used to have ugly overgrown plants too. The garage door I used as a test bed for the colors of the house, because I cleaned it, I repaired it, and figured, well, if I screw up on the garage door, no big deal. I can always change the colors again. Low voltage lights on the left and right, which at night really makes it look pretty. And then you come up the front walk. As we go through the house, you'll see all sorts of artwork and things that I've done. So if you have questions about any of it, let me know. I'll be glad to talk about it. Sorry about the dumpster, but I keep cleaning stuff out, so. And some of my orchids are getting ready to bloom. One of the things that I had to pay to have done was new front doors, which let in a nice amount of light into the entryway, but also provide privacy. So as you come up to the front door, you enter the house, and there's your view as you come in. Now, I do promise you, folks, as I do with my travel logs, you will not see me at any point during this. Hey, you know what I look like. What do you need to see me again for? Travertine on the entryway. This used to be up at my dad's place. This little rascal I got when a friend of mine and I went and visited Old Town down in San Diego. So see, there's a lot of folks who will be viewing this who haven't been in the house in a long time, or even fairly recently. Even they will go, wow, it's changed a lot. And if you've never been here before, well, it's always looked this wonderful. Yeah, sure, that's the ticket. And here is the kitchen. This is the part that took the longest because they had to really do a lot of work in here. At one point, there was nothing but bare walls and bare floors in here. I like the color of the cabinetry. I did not go with stainless steel because, for whatever reason, I'm not a fan of stainless steel. The stove and oven, it's a freestanding, but what I really like is there's two ovens. Now they're not as deep as a regular oven, but you can cook two separate things at two separate temperatures. The upper one's great if you're doing something that's flat. Lower one will handle a turkey, a roast, etc. Quartz countertops, and a nice sort of rough rock backsplash. And then when you stand at the kitchen counter and are doing your dishes, well, you do get a rather nice view. Now underneath that tarp is actually a nice table and chairs that can be used in the summertime. I just put the chairs on the table and cover everything with the tarp in the winter so it doesn't get all yucky. breakfast table, bookcase. It is a really big kitchen, which I like. I can actually be cooking and somebody else or other people can sit in here and it works out great. I apologize for the mess of the dining room. I'm preparing stuff for eBay, so it's a little messy. There in the corner you've got the Griffin. Who's pretty spectacular in his own right. And the light fixture, which has been in the family, at this point, 40 years or more, works very nicely in here. Crown molding. That was one of the things I couldn't do myself that I hired people to do. Now the fireplace, it used to have some real ugly, slumpy red bricks in a really ugly hearth. And I think they look just a little bit better now. If you'd like to know how it got to looking this good, let me know. There's products involved, there's a story involved. And of course, what house would be complete without a bronze vulture? Sure, anyone can have birds and animals and such, but how many people have a vulture? And the other nice thing about the living room is it has nice high cathedral ceiling. And considering I painted the inside of the house, it made for a very interesting time getting into that upper corner. There's the front door again, and as you can see, it lets a lot of extra light into the entryway. When there were solid doors, it just made the whole living room and entryway quite dark. And this is the computer room, or the front office. Now this little rascal used to be laid out differently because along this wall there used to be bookcases. Well, the former owners had put them in, hadn't done a great job, so one of the things I did was remove them, which made it easier to arrange things. Also, when I sit here, I can see out to the front courtyard to see if anyone's coming up to the front door. And of course, since I read, bookcases, which also make a handy way to display things. And then into the hallway. The master bath, or guest bath rather. And hopefully you'll be able to see the detail. But even the knobs and the cabinetry match the shower curtain. I'd like to claim that it was all my doing, but as it turns out, I actually listened to some of the things my mother told me when I was growing up. By the way, if you're redoing your bathroom and you have kind of a small sink, this hook-necked faucet Gives you lots of room underneath to brush your teeth and things like that. It's really, really nice. Linen closet. Now this is the room that started it all. Way back in 2012, I looked up at the ceiling and went, wow, I need to paint that. Well, if I paint that, I should get rid of the chair rail that goes around the room. Well, heck, if I'm going to do that, I should, get rid of the wallpaper. And if I do that, I should redo the trim. Well, then the doors are going to look ugly, so I should redo the doors. Well, if this one door in here gets redone, the others will look ugly. And it just snowballed. Now, one of the nice things is, here in the master bedroom, is that after I got everything done, there's a matter of the closets. So I was actually willing to spend the money to have Closet World come in and do the closets, which I really, really like. That is a picture of my grandfather when he was a small child. And then, of course, once you get things done on the inside, you have to do things on the outside, such as